his record actually goes back to 1994. He was arrested for selling narcotics and vehicle theft, and then he re-entered the United States in 1999.
The individual who was leading our district with energy and enthusiasm was detained by ICE agents. Since that time, this district, the Iowa Department of Education, the Department of Homeland Security, and others have learned that his citizenship status and eligibility to work in the United States is not what we were led to believe.
Chesley Major.
Where was Roberts born? When a reporter asked him last year, he dodged the question.
Where were you born? Where did you grow?
Sure, yeah, so both parents are from Guyana, South America. So I spent most of my formative years between Guyana and Brooklyn, New York.
Can you tell us which institution he received his doctorate from?
Yes, it was, I know it, the International School, Trident International, right?
Trident International University, an online university. Roberts left his last position at Mill Creek High Township in Pennsylvania for the job here. In a note, Mill Creek Township says he passed all clearances, including an FBI background check. But in 2020, at the time of his hiring in Mill Creek, the school board there raised questions about his background, according to minutes of their board meeting. More confusing, his LinkedIn, an impressive number of schools. A bachelor from Coppin State University, master's degree, St. John's, Morgan State University. For years, he went by Doctor. St. John's confirmed he got a master's but not a doctorate degree. His official bio says he completed programs at Morgan State. But Morgan State tells us no, quote, Ian Roberts did not receive any degree or certificate from Morgan State University.
It seems fitting to take a page out of Dr. Roberts' book and ask the community to engage in radical empathy as we work through the situation together. We do not have all the facts. There is much we do not know. However, what we do know is that Dr. Roberts has been an integral part of our school community since he joined over 2 years ago. During his time with our district, he has shown up in ways big and small.
He was arrested with a loaded handgun, a fixed blade hunting knife, $3,000 in cash.
We all need to cool down the rhetoric. We should promote true discourse and facts, not spread misinformation meant to divide us. Our elected officials need to behave like role models for our children. Enough with the name calling and misinformation that is meant to divide us.
I think she has clearly, again, lost all shreds of credibility she might have. I think she's about as qualified to be a U.S. Senator at this point as a goldfish is to run a marathon. So she should resign from the school board and step out of the race for the U.S. Senate. It's very clear she can't even run the bare minimum of hiring standards at the Des Moines Public Schools.
When the news broke that ICE arrested Roberts, initially, Des Moines School Board Chair Jackie Norris called for radical empathy.
Are you still calling for radical empathy, and is the board taking any responsibility for his hiring?
There was nothing in the information that was given to us to allude to any question about his citizenship.
More outcry in Iowa after a school superintendent who has been in the United States illegally for years resigns. The Department of Justice now getting involved, launching an investigation into potentially illegal hiring practices at Des Moines Public Schools. Ian Andre Roberts, who apparently used to go by Dr. Roberts, but there's no indication that he completed the PhD that he says he got his doctoral degree from. Here's what DHS is telling us about him. He entered the U.S. from Guyana in 1999, given a formal order of removal in 2024, was arrested in 2020 for possession of a weapon. Apparently there's another citation as well from a year later. Was arrested on Friday, found with a loaded gun, $3,000 in cash, a fixed blade hunting knife, tried to speed away from ICE, but was found and taken into custody. Todd Lyons told us this morning that his record actually goes back to 1994. He was arrested for selling narcotics and vehicle theft, and then he re-entered the United States in 1999. I mean, it's a fundamental question, I think, to ask. How did this guy become the superintendent of Des Moines Public Schools?
Yeah, well, just complete and utter incompetency at the Des Moines Public School Board, and they were totally responsible for this hiring. Jackie Norris is the head of the school board. She very clearly does not have an ounce of credibility left. They came to his defense after all of this started coming out last Friday, which as a parent, I am just shocked, and I think this is as absolutely abhorrent as a taxpayer that they continued to pay him. Instead of firing him on Saturday night in their meeting, they put him on paid leave, and then they put him on unpaid leave when the reaction from the community was so strong, and then only after he had his license revoked did he resign. So I think the layers of this onion, as we continue to peel them back, are going to keep coming out. But what I am just shocked by is all of these Democrats who are coming to his defense of this illegal alien who's truly a con man.
Right. So here's what the school board chairwoman, Jackie Norris, said about his immigration status. Listen here.
We can tell you that on his I-9, he stated he was a citizen and he provided 2 forms of verification, a driver's license and a social security card. As is typical in other organizations, this is what employers ask of their employees. And as an employer, we trust employees to fill out the required forms truthfully and provide valid documentation.
Seems like a lot of passing of the buck there. I mean, did she, as the chairwoman of the school board, have a responsibility to know who she was hiring?
Well, the whole entire process for hiring this superintendent was done behind closed doors. So I think that there are a lot more questions than answers at this point about their hiring practices and what they're doing. You know, Jackie Norris is out there calling for radical empathy for an illegal artist, an illegal con artist, and I'm calling for radical accountability for all these taxpayers and the parents that he fleeced in this process. So I hope that all of these answers come out. The Des Moines School District is a laughingstock right now, and it shouldn't be. We should be educating students. We should be here in Iowa, the beacon of public education, and instead now they're the center of a controversy, which I think is just a total shame.
Just when you thought it was over, the plot thickens. So Ian Roberts re-entered the country in 1999 after already being in the country in 1994 when he was arrested for narcotic sales and auto theft. So he's been in the country before. So Jackie Norris of the Des Moines, Iowa School Board, chairman of the school board, he got the whole list L because Jackie Norris is the one who allowed him to be hired for Des Moines, Iowa. Jackie Norris, pure incompetence. She could have did better, but she was just enamored by this guy, charmed by this guy. He had good game and good suits to go with the sneakers he was wearing with him. That was a dead giveaway. Superintendents don't wear Jordans with suits. This guy came into town and he was something new, something fresh. And they was like, wow, look at Ian. It was more about his look than his qualifications. Ian really didn't qualify for the job. His whole resume was blown up. I'm talking about he had Harvard on there, Morgan State, doctorate's degree, and none of that was true. None of that was actually true. But like I said again, they was enamored by this guy. He was charming. He had a good smile. He ran that good game. And they fell for it. And while falling for it, they just went ahead and paid him for it. A hefty tab, $300K. But now, Jackie Norris, she's on the hot seat while trying to pass the book and play the blame game and try to kick the can down the road. The DOJ has just got involved. The Department of Justice is on deck, and they're about to get involved and launch an investigation that looks into these unlawful, incompetent hiring practices. And that spot, that office that Jackie Norris is running for, forget about it. But even I'm starting to question if this guy is who he says he is, because when asked where he's from, he completely and totally dodged that question. Like, next question, please. Is this guy even Ian Roberts, or did he take someone else's identity? Now you think about it, it's possible. You can't put nothing past this guy. After all of the stuff that he's drawing up on his resume to make it look good, and a lot of that was fake and falsehoods, ain't no telling with Ian. Ian's a scammer, a yammer, a fraud. He likes to tell fallacies and falsehoods. This guy was a car thief. This guy was a habitual liar. And one of the greatest character flaws of a tether is always telling lies. The theft of the car, the gun charge, the drug charge, there is no way he should have been superintendent of any school. But they say he passed a background check, an extensive background check, which I think is a lie. I think they gave this guy the job and they knew that it was going to come back to bite him in the ass. But he was such an interesting character and figure that they didn't care. They went ahead and gave him the job because they loved to see him walking around the campus. Tall, dark guy in Des Moines, Iowa, around all the good W's. And they were just loving it. Ian Roberts should have never been in this country, let alone serving for the school board as a teacher, principal, superintendent, hell, janitor. Mr. Roberts went ahead and resigned because he know he was caught red-handed with his hand in the cookie jar, and it ain't no escaping that or getting around it. But that's all I got, guys. Let me know what you think about this case. It just keeps getting bigger. It just keeps getting worse and worse and worse, and the rabbit hole just keeps getting deeper. Leave a comment. I would love to hear your thoughts. Go ahead and click that like button if you enjoyed the content. That helps me in bringing you more videos like this. Subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed, and click that notification bell so you get a notification every time I put out a new video. Thanks for joining. See you on the next one. Peace.
Who
that is?
Chesley Major. Chesley Major.
Chesley Major. Chesley Major.
Chesley Major. Chesley Major.